Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. Today, I want to discuss with you about how can we become peaceful and how can we become calm from our mind. Now we know that we are living in a world where we are constantly bombarded and constantly overloaded with information, with distractions and all of the chaos. So what happens when we live in such an environment is we become so reactive and we tend to lose our peacefulness, we tend to lose our calmness in our mind. And then what happens is our frustration, stress, and depression builds in. So how can we deal with this? And what can we do to eliminate these distractions and this constant chatter in our mind and have a peaceful mind in the middle of chaos? So today I'm going to share a few tips where you can practice in your daily life, and then you can, if you practice this, it will be a great help to find peacefulness and calm in the middle of all the chaos. So the first thing that you have to understand is calmness and peacefulness is not an outer source. It doesn't come from outer world, right? It can be found within. So no matter where you live, no matter what the place you live, no matter what you do, if you really focus on this calmness, and if you're clever enough to find that, then you will be able to find the calmness and peacefulness in the middle of all the chaos. So always remember, calmness and peacefulness should be built and should be developed within, okay? And also, you have to remember one thing, that calmness and peacefulness is not about emptying your mind, right? When you become calm and peaceful, it doesn't say that there's nothing in your mind, no thoughts in your mind, right? Thoughts may appear in your mind, right? There will be lots of thoughts and train of thoughts will be appear in your mind. But when you become really calm and when you become serene from your mind, you tend to not to react to all those stimulations. That is what the real calmness and peacefulness means, okay? Normally, when the thoughts appear, right? When all these kind of trains of thoughts appear in our mind, what happens to us is we oftenly react to them, right? We become panicked and we tend to react to them. So the reason why this happens is because we think the thoughts as us. And we tend to think that I am what I think and I am my thoughts. But in reality, thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts, right? Thoughts are just like, they're coming and going. It's like clouds, right? There's the sky and there's the clouds, right? So what is the nature of a cloud? It comes and it swarms around and it goes off, right? Sometimes the sky is cloudy, sometimes the sky is moody, sometimes the clouds are scattered here and there, and sometimes the sky is empty. So you are like the sky and your thoughts are like the clouds, okay? So there's a huge distance between the sky and the clouds. But we often think that the clouds as the sky. Sometimes when it is raining, sometimes when it is moody, we blame to the sky, right? We tend to say that, oh, this weather is not okay. The sky is always raining and it's moody. But sky is not raining. Clouds are what forms the rain, right? Clouds forms the rain. The same as that, when the thoughts appear in your mind, you can take a little step back and think, should I react to this? Should I react upon these thoughts? For an example, if an angry thought came to your mind, what should you do? Just pause a little bit and think, should I react to this? You can have a little bit of a time and think about it. Oh, this is anger. I should not react to this. This is jealousy. I should not react to this. Okay? It's okay to have thoughts in your mind, but if you want to be peaceful, you should not, and you should choose to not to react to those thoughts. So there are a few practices where we can do in our daily life to to make a little bit of a help to this peacefulness and calmness. One thing that you can do is that you can slow down your body movement for a little time period of the day. Maybe like when you have time and when you're working by yourself, maybe like you're walking, maybe like you're writing something, or maybe like you're studying. Try to maintain slow body movements. Now, why I say this? Because our body and our mind is highly interconnected. Okay? When our thoughts become panicked, our body become panicked. So in the other way, if we calm down and if we slow down our bodily movements, it will be a great help for us to slow down the thought process. Then you can take a little time and think about what comes to your mind. That is one thing that you can do. And also there's another great practice that Buddha told us to do, that is called breathing meditation. When you do the breathing meditation, you reduce these heavy loads of thoughts into two thoughts: in breath and out breath. In breathing meditation, all what we are doing is we are constantly becoming aware of in breath and out breath. When you do that, it's sort of like condensing your mind. It's sort of like making your mind soft and peaceful and non-reactive. That is what you can do. And also there's another thing that you can do, is to not to judge your thoughts and to be aware of your thoughts. I will give you an example. It's like you're watching a traffic pass by the side of the road, right? You can see cars and bikes and vans and buses are going, but you're not going to judge them. You're not going to stop them. You're not going to chase behind them. You sit by the road and you just watch them. Let the vehicles be the vehicles and you be you. In the same way, let the thoughts be the thoughts and you be you. When you become less reactive to your thoughts, you can find that peacefulness and calmness in your mind. So I hope you got some light about the calmness and peacefulness from this video. So I hope may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you be calm and peaceful forever. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the threefold practices in Buddhism. Now, no matter how the way that you are approaching the Buddha's teachings, these are the three practices that you need to practice in Buddhism. Okay? So we are going to take a look at these things. Before understanding these three practices, we have to understand why we should practice these things. Okay? What is the goal and what is the ultimate goal of Buddha's teachings? Now, the ultimate goal of all the Buddhist teachings is to liberate your mind from unsatisfactoriness. Okay? Liberate your mind from all the sufferings in life. Okay? Because the Buddha said that the life is based on unsatisfactoriness. Okay? So once you have a deeper and a wiser understanding about your life, then you can liberate your mind from all the unsatisfactoriness in your life. Okay? So Buddha realized that to achieve this state, to enlighten your mind and to liberate your mind, you need to make some conditions and you have to practice your mind. So that is why Buddha introduced us these three practices to practice in our practical life in order to enlighten our mind. So, without any further ado, let's dive into these practices. So the first practice in Buddhism is called Sila. Now, I have discussed about Sila in an earlier video. You can watch it here. So basically, the Sila means the moral and ethical conduct. Being disciplined from your body and from your words. Okay? So once you practice this Sila, you can be disciplined from your body and from your words. Now, Buddha understood that when we are living with people, the way we behave, right, the actions that we do from our body and the words that we speak will impact the lives of other people as well as us. Okay? It will impact the life of ourselves. the way we behave and way we speak. And also, it will highly influence the others' lives too. And that is why Buddha said, purify your conduct. Do wholesome things from your body and from your words. So sila helps you to practice the verbal and the physical conduct in a moral and a more ethical and wholesome way. Okay? So in sila, we have precepts. Basically, for lay people like you, you have 5 precepts that you can protect. Okay? The first one is abstaining from killing beings. The Buddha says that stay away from killing beings. In that way, you become disciplined from your body. Abstaining from stealing. Do not take others' possessions without their permissions, without the permissions of themselves, with the stealing mind. Okay? Once you protect that, you be disciplined from your body. And Buddha said that stay away from sexual misconduct. When you abstain from sexual misconduct, you become disciplined from your body. And the Buddha said, stay away from lying. Be disciplined from your words. Do not break the trust of others from your words. And finally, Buddha says, stay away from intoxicating your body. Okay? Do not use intoxicants and other drugs. It will lead to harmful situations and harmful consequences in your life. So basically, Buddha introduced us these 5 precepts to protect in your life. When you observe and when you protect these 5 precepts, you become disciplined from your body. Okay? So that is why sila helps you to be disciplined, to live a disciplined life. Why we should live a disciplined life? We should live a disciplined life to stay away from regrets. Because when you look at these 5 precepts, if you engage in these things, if you kill animals, if you steal others' possessions, if you commit sexual misconduct, if you lie, and if you intoxicate yourself, what will happen? There will be a lot of regrets in your life. And also there will be things that you have to worry about. That is why Buddha says, stay away from these 5 things and you will live a regretless life. Okay? So that is the first practice. Moving on to the second practice, we have samadhi. Now, samadhi can be translated as concentration or mental peacefulness inside your mind. Now, remember, this samadhi is supported by the first practice that is called the sila. The Buddha said, when you practice sila or when you live a moral and ethical life, what will happen? You will have less regrets in your mind. You will have no regrets in your mind. Once you have no regrets in your mind, what will happen? It will lead to the mental happiness. Because most of the people, they worry about the things that they have done in the past. Okay? Unwholesome things that they have done in the past. But once you live according to the precepts, once you live a virtuous life, then you can be happy about yourself. And also, your mind will be in a good and a happy state. That is why this samadhi is supported by the sila. Now, why we need samadhi? Now, we need samadhi to think clearly. Because you know that when your mind is busy, when your mind is scattered, and when it runs here and there, it is very difficult to think clearly. Now, Buddha considered that thinking clearly and thinking freely is a great benefit to understand the reality of your life. And that is why we need to practice samadhi. For practicing samadhi, Buddha introduced many meditations. So one type of meditation is called samatha meditation. Samatha meditations helps you to condense your mind and find that peacefulness inside your mind. Okay? It includes loving kindness meditations, breathing meditations, mindfulness meditations. All those meditations will help you to achieve a peaceful and a calm life. Okay? So, but remember this, to achieve a peaceful and calm life, we have to focus on living a virtuous life, living a disciplined life. Keep that in your mind. So let's move on to the third practice. And this is the final practice in Buddha's teachings. That is called wisdom or panya in Buddhism. Now, so many people think that knowledge is wisdom. Always remember, knowledge is a part of wisdom, but it is not the wisdom. Now, Buddha explains that you must achieve wisdom from three means, from three types of wisdoms. The first type of wisdom is called Suttamaya Panya. Suttamaya Panya means the wisdom that is gained through learning. Okay, you can learn, you can read, and you can listen to sermons, right? That is called the knowledge. Of course, wisdom has a part of knowledge. And also the second type of wisdom is called Chintamaya Prajna. Chintamaya Prajna is the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Okay, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting on what you have learned, the reality of your life. When Buddha teaches about the reality of the life, when Buddha teaches about the impermanence and the reality of all the things, you have to wisely reflect on it. Okay, you have to think upon it. And once you think and once you wisely reflect on it, you gain the wisdom. You gain a deeper understanding. Okay, that is called Chintamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. And also in the third type of wisdom, this is the most important type of wisdom, that is called Bhavanamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by practicing. Okay, now the wisdom that is gained by practicing is supported by all those two wisdoms, Chintamaya Prajna and Suttamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by listening or learning, and also the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Now Buddha says, when you learn and when you think and when you wisely reflect on it, then you can apply it to your practical life by doing meditations, by doing it practically. Okay, many of the people believe that Bhavanamaya Prajna is only based on meditations. No, Bhavana does not mean only the meditation. It gives the meaning of development or practicing. Okay, so you have to look, how can I apply these Buddha's teachings? How can I practice these things in my practical life? Once you do it, your wisdom will be developed. That is how you practice the wisdom in Buddha's teachings. So basically, these are the three main practices in Buddhism. Sila gives you the ethical and wholesome bodily and verbal conduct. And Samadhi will help you to develop a concentrated and a calmer and a peaceful mind. And Prajna gives you a deeper and a wiser understanding about the reality and our existence and all the experiences that we go through in our life. Once you practice these three practices, you will be directed. Your life will be focused on liberation. Your mind will be well prepared for the liberation and to a deeper understanding about the life. So these are the three practices that we practice in Buddhism. Try to practice these things and try to apply it to your practical life. Wish you all happy and a peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Do you know why we need to be so serious and we need to be wise when we choose friends? Now, the reason is the friends and the people who we choose to associate can shape our character. They can affect in many ways in our life. Okay, so that is why we need to be very serious and very wise when we let people into our life. Okay, because there's a saying that goes like this: you become who you choose to associate with. Okay, you become like the people around your surrounding with. So that is why we need to find a true friend and good friends to associate. But the thing is, it is very hard to find a true friend. Okay, how can we find a true friend? What are the signs? Well, the Buddha taught there are 7 signs of a true friend. Buddha taught this in a sutta named Mitta Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, Book of 7. The Buddha says there are 7 signs of a true friend. The first sign is, the Buddha says, he gives what is hard to give. What do you mean by that? Giving what is hard to give is not about material gifts, okay? It is not about giving the gifts and the presents that you like, okay? A true friend will give you his time, his or her time, the valuable thing, the most valuable thing in our life. The time, the dedication, listening, helping hand, and care and kindness. These are the most valuable things, and these are the most hardest thing that people find to give to other people. Okay? So a true friend will never be shy or never think twice to dedicate his time and his effort and his dedication towards your success. Okay? So the Buddha says the first sign of a true friend is he gives what is hard to give. The second sign is, the Buddha says, he does what is hard to do. Now, what do you mean by that? It means a true friend will always step out of his comfort zone to help you. Okay? He will do what he finds hard to do for your own benefit. Okay? That is all about dedication. That is all about sacrifice. Okay? A true friend will always be there for you, no matter how hard he or she finds it. Okay? So a true friend will do what is hard to do. The third sign is, the Buddha says, he endures what is hard to endure. Okay? No matter how hard his life become, or no matter how hard her lives become, they will endure all the difficulties and tough times, and they will be there for you. Okay? They will stand with you, and they will face those tough times together. Okay? So these are all things about dedication of a true friend. Okay? Purely, they are pure in their heart, and they are always willing to help you. So this is all about dedication and sacrifice. So that is why the Buddha said, a true friend will endure what is hard to endure. The fourth sign is, I'd like to put fourth sign and the fifth sign together because it is all about the trust. The Buddha says, a true friend will protect your secrets. He will never reveal your secrets to anyone. And also, a true friend will reveal his secrets or her secrets to you. That means a true friend is trustworthy. You can trust him or her, and they will trust you also. So a true friend is a friend who is trustworthy. And the next sign is, the Buddha says, a true friend is a friend who stands with you when you face tough times in your life. Okay? When you hit misfortune, when the life strikes you with misfortune, and when you hit the rock bottom in your life, a true friend will never abandon you. He or she will be there with you always, facing the tough times together. Okay, lending their helping hand, caring for you, and showing their kindness. Now, this is one of the best tests to find that your friend is a true friend or not. Okay, because there are so many people who claim them to be the friends, but when we hit the misfortune, when we have troubles in our life, they're gone. Okay, so a true friend will be there for you, be there with you no matter what happens in your life, even in your good days and even in your bad days. They will be there with you. And the final sign is, the Buddha says, when you hit misfortune and when you have tough times in your life, a true friend will never look down on you. Okay, they will never disgrace you, they will never disrespect you. Okay, they will always protect your personality. Okay, they have the respect in their heart for you, and also they will be honest with you always. Okay, one of the best signs of a true friend is they will become honest. Okay, they will say what is wrong as wrong, and they will say what is right as right. Okay, even though the truth will hurt you. Okay, so they're not that people who are like cheering you up always, right? Trying to keep you happy all the time and saying what is bad as good and good as bad. Okay, so remember, a true friend will never look down on you, and they will be honest with you. So these are the signs of a true friend. Okay, now after learning all these signs, then you will come up with this thought that Well, it is very hard to find a true friend. It is very difficult to find a true friend. You can tell me like, oh, it is very easy for you to say that these are the signs of a true friend, but it is difficult to find. I know, right? People with these characteristics and people with these signs are very rare. That is what makes them exceptional. That is what makes them so much interesting. And that is what makes them a true friend. Okay? Right. Let's say you cannot find such a friend around you. Okay? Maybe you cannot find. Okay? There are some instances like that. So what can you do? But there's one thing that you can do, and that is to build up these 7 qualities within yourself and become a true friend to people around you. Okay? Once you create those qualities within you, you create a potential for another true friend to be attracted to you. Okay? Because that is the nature of this world. Okay? The nature of this world is the birds of feather flock together. That means same things get together. People with same qualities, they get together. Okay? So one thing that you can do is, if you did not find a true friend, be a true friend to people. Okay? So learn these signs and identify who is a true friend is and be with them. Namo Buddhaya.